It's really crazy how 15 minutes in a game can completely change the outcome of the match. I think Portugal came into this game way too defensive with two holding midfielders in the midfield. I think it just felt like they were playing it super safe to make sure they don't concede, but all in all, it just felt like there was something lacking in this team, especially going forward. And Diogo Jota, I don't think he really had that great of a game. And if I'm being honest with you, it just felt like Renato Sanchez needed to come on earlier. And honestly, as soon as he came onto the pitch, dude, the dynamic completely changed. They also brought on Andre Silva and Rafa, who came on first, and I was kind of surprised as to why, but that's besides the point, because at the end of the day, Portugal walk away with 3 goals, despite the fact that there was only like 15 minutes left in the game, and they absolutely buried the Hungarians. And it was really unfortunate. The first goal came off of a deflection, and I felt like as of that moment, everything for Hungary just completely crumbled. They started getting really desperate. They wanted to go level the game real quick, and as soon as they went forward, they got the ball quickly dispossessed, and Portugal were right back on the attack, which ended up costing that penalty, and that penalty ended up being the goal where Ronaldo finally set a record. That man is eventually going to have the most goals for any international player. So at the end of the day, did this result really showcase what actually happened in the match? No. But at the end of the day, in order to become a champion, you have to be able to win ugly. And Portugal definitely got the result, because you know what? When you look at the +3 goal differential, that's going to help them tremendously. Because you know what? If it does come down to goal difference, you now have a +3 goal differential, and all you really got to do is hold out against France and Germany, which is kind of where Portugal excels, given the fact that this coach likes to play a pretty defensive game. But all in all, one thing I really found refreshing was finally being able to see a full packed stadium. It honestly just brought me back to the days of the pre-pandemic era, and I can only imagine this being a great moment for the country. Despite the fact that they ended up losing as badly as they did, up until like around the 84th minute, it was a pretty good game from Hungary in the end. I thought they were going to hold out and get the draw. And there were some moments in the second half where I honestly thought that Hungary had the better chances. And that's not even mentioning the goal that actually ended up being offside. But I guess if you're a Hungarian fan, I feel like you're going to feel shitty about the fact that Dominik Szoboszlai wasn't able to play. Because ultimately, I think if he would have been on this team, he could have been the easy difference maker. But unfortunately, it just felt like the only thing they were really lacking was that true quality to give them that little extra boost. Because believe me, everyone else on the stadium saw that Portugal were getting clearly frustrated. They were starting to lose their head. You could see Danilo. They were losing their minds, getting upset. They were making careless chances. Ruben Diaz got a yellow card. It was starting to become a very frustrating game, especially if you're a Portuguese fan. And I think you're going to be happy at the end of the day, especially if you're a Portuguese fan, just to the fact that you were able to walk away with 3 goals. Man, you would have been happy with 1, given how the whole game went. But it just felt like, man, there has to be more from Portugal going forward. And as for Hungary, hopefully this is a good sign, because you know what? Maybe against a team like Germany, I'm not so sure about France, but I do think they could frustrate a team like Germany. I feel like they're going to be a type of team that's going to struggle to get goals forward, with the exception of guys like Serge Gnabry, who can obviously bury it. They do have quality players, but I feel like it's going to be difficult. But I guess we'll just have to see how that game goes. I mean, it was always going to be tough for Hungary. The fact that they were drawn in a group like Germany, France, and Portugal, like honestly, either one of these teams could be in the semifinals this year, if we're keeping it real. So the best way to look at it is to not beat. So if you are a Hungarian fan out there who's probably upset about the match, honestly, don't beat yourself up on it. At the end of the day, look at it this way. You're going up against 3 teams who could easily be in the finals. Like if we're keeping it a stack. And you're going to get to see 3 quality games. So you know what? It's not like Hungary went out and lost to a team like North Macedonia or Finland. Some team that's not really out there. They ended up losing to easily one of the best teams in Europe. This Portugal team is better than the one that won it in 2016. So, you know what? All the credit to Hungary. And for a minute there, it looked like you guys were going to get away with a point. But hey, man, that's just how the game goes sometimes. And as for Portugal, this is a great result considering how they played today. And honestly, this is going to be great because if they end up being on a goal differential and points are separating them between France and Germany, that might help them get into a better position depending on how the other teams go and how obviously they perform against France or Germany. But given how defensive they are, I don't think they're going to be conceding too much goals. As a matter of fact, I feel like they're going to be on the back burner against both France and Germany. But that's kind of how they play. And it's kind of a shame because given the quality of players they have, I do think they could be more of an attacking and offensive team. But I don't know, I guess that's just the way they play. Credit to them because it clearly works. But we'll just have to see how that affects them later on into the tournament. So with that being said, congratulations to Cristiano Ronaldo and congratulations to Portugal on this result, and hopefully Hungary can do better from here on out. So that's going to conclude the video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. You already know the grind don't stop. And with that being said, I will see you guys in the next video. Peace out, guys.